These are some of the scars of the 1994 Rwandan genocide, which have since been turned into a memorial site. The site is visited by a multitude of tourists from across the world. It is estimated that about 800,000 Rwandans were killed in a period of 100 days as war broke out between the Tutsis and Hutus. The genocide was sparked off by the death of the then Rwandan leader, Juvenal Habyarimana, after a plane he was traveling in was shot down. President Yoweri Museveni, who is in the US attending a UN high-level debate, told delegates that African problems like the Rwandan genocide could have been handled better by Africans.
The neighboring countries could have stopped the genocide of Rwanda in 1994. We could not do it because the UN was obstructing us.
The president now calls for a quicker creation of an African capacity response to better manage violence on the continent.
Uganda, therefore, strongly supports the establishment of the African Capacity for Immediate Response to Crises, ACRIC, which is an African-owned initiative for rapid military intervention as and when the need arises to quickly respond to crisis situations on the African continent.
He maintains the notion of African solutions for African problems that's very popular among the regional leaders.
The international community, including the United Nations, can only support and should therefore respect regional processes.
President Museveni had no kind words about the UN peacekeeping force in Africa.
In situations where actual deployment by the UN has been taken, as in the Eastern DRC, the mandate of the mission is often so restricted you end up with a sitting duck mission with the troops in a peacekeeping role with no peace to keep.
The president also weighed in on the issue of indicting African leaders at the International Criminal Court by describing it as improper.
The United Nations should not just blindly pursue the option of placing sanctions on individuals or referring them to the ICC without holding consultations with the regions affected, as this often undermines the very process of resolving the conflict in question.
The president made the remarks this afternoon at the United Nations high-level thematic debate on strengthening cooperation between the UN and regional and sub-regional organizations at the UN Secretariat.